Hey YouTube, so I thought I'd make a video showing how I made this beautiful mask right here. I think it's called Rescue Helmet, but yeah. So I want to show you guys how I made it and how if you follow the same thing, you can kind of do the same thing too. I think I have a couple links in the description for the things that I used. The PLA that I used for it, which is the plastic that it's made of. If you just search it up on Amazon, pretty much most of them are the same. So I think most places now, like libraries and stuff like that, have 3D printers. Well, some do anyway. So you can probably get parts printed for you and make it that way, or you can get your own. Anyways, I'm rambling, but yeah, I made this and you can too. So by the time I started recording, I already made the faceplate, so just to preface why it's in the back there. But at this point, I started out on the coding for my Arduino Nano that was going to go in the helmet. Figured out how much volts it would take, the average amps that it used and everything. That way I could find a battery pack that was suitable for it. Normally, given what I've done with my other helmet, I would hijack the servos so that they are like DC motors and then just have them running like that. But this time I decided to go with code and used Crashworks pre-made code that will be in the description. Then I got all the supplies out and organized, and I started to sketch out exactly like what the layout was going to be in the helmet, how the wiring was supposed to be done, that sort of thing. Then I started to print all my parts with the hinges and everything. This is my printer, it's an Ender 5 Pro. A cheaper one is probably the Ender 3, that kind of thing, so if you're looking for one, go for that one. Once I had the prints done, or most of them, I decided to test out the fitting and everything, which I probably should have done sooner because it was a little small for the back end of my head, but that's mostly because of my hair, so there's nothing really I could do there. And I'm not trying to get a huge helmet, so this was the best I could do, and I'm pretty happy with it. I then decided to use a hairdryer. I guess you could use a heat gun if you have one. Just to stretch out the ears a little bit because it didn't totally fit my head. I mean, it still doesn't, but at the time I wanted to add foam onto the ears to make it more comfortable, and it just wasn't big enough for that, so I used a hairdryer. I also started putting the epoxy putty just to fill in the cracks between where I super glued and plastic welded the parts together. While my other part was printing, I fixed up the servos and got them working. For now, I also did some LED eyes that are going to be temporary because I've already ordered the new proper ones. This is all being done while the other parts print, by the way, because I don't know, I like to keep myself busy and get it done in as little time as possible. So in this next part, I just soldered everything to the Arduino Nano, which is a little circuit board. I did eventually put on a mask, as you can see. Then I just finished up with the electrical tape, and I was finally finished with the wiring and everything, so we can move on to the good looking part. So yeah, then I pretty much just sanded everything down really fine, and then wet sanded, which made it really smooth, spray painted everything, and then I added these hinges in here that you can see, the white things, that help it stay up and come down perfectly, which is really nice. And then I also added in the permanent LEDs that come on with a limit switch that I think I put in the jaw, so that whenever your chin hits it, it just comes up, and if your chin hits it again, it comes back down, and then it turns the lights on, so it's really cool, yeah. And then I added this mask to the inside so that it would fit on my head properly, because my head's a little big, so it kind of pokes out the back, and the black mask kind of hides my ears and stuff, and then it keeps it on my head. And then I added Velcro inside the back part of the helmet so that it would stick on properly and look semi-presentable. I still need to get a new battery pack for the Arduino, but other than that, it's completely done, and this is the final product.